Pitch.io. Hayato's journey. Colorful. People have been bigging this thing up in romhack circles. Looks pretty good. Kenseiden is possibly my favorite Master System cart. Let's down low? What? Pay what I think is fair, huh? Straight out of the gate. Brazen. I mean, let's see what this thing is all about before I consider tossing a few bucks at it. Alright, so I'm not immediately seeing a lot of new assets. This is from that Mega Drive Genesis Shinobi title. These from the other one, Willow Arcade, Kabuki Z. Are these those stiff ActRaiser enemies reskinned? Super Empire Strikes Back with bantha noises? A brief aside to succinctly explain myself. ROM hacks are generally built with reused assets, and here they've done an excellent job building Hayato's journey from some fitting, unexpected sources. No beef there. Choosing not to pay is an option, let that be clear. This thing is fully downloadable for free. Now here's the question. Do you think it's ethical for people who repost and re-edit videos from popular YouTube channels to monetize? How about those scummy old movie sites who place ads every 30 seconds on an ancient film that has fallen into public domain? This is sort of like that. They don't own anything. Neon Hearts City is an example of a fan project on itch.io crafted with unique materials, but they tastefully attached their Patreon in the description. Most do. That's okay. There's a superb Zelda 2 homebrew out there that is so tight, so brilliantly artistic, beautiful. The developer, Hoverbat, doesn't have their hand out. I like to remain positive and exhibit the hard work put into these things on this channel. Admittedly, this isn't Ed Finley levels of unsavoriness, but where do we draw the line? I'm legitimately curious. Sorry that I'm making an example of this particular person's project here, maybe I'm out of touch, but it does give me the impression that they're only creating these things for one reason. I'll try not to let it get in the way of this review. Now back to it. Kenseiden is a fantastic 8-bit Sega title on the Master System that I've covered not once, but twice on this channel. A challenging action-adventure with light RPG elements and a fairly open, explorable world. This unofficial sequel is a straight-up linear arcade game more in line with something like the original Strider. I think that's an apt comparison, as enemies often bombard our hero from every direction in a somewhat sloppy way. Poo-poo me all you want, but that Capcom classic has never really been my cup of tea, I say as I drink a mug of piping hot Earl Grey.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
As the story in the description for this download reads, Hayato is the last descendant of the Great Hayato, a legendary member of the dragon family that fought against the evil Warlock centuries ago. On this journey, we are to revenge his master. Their words, not mine. Oh, and there's a damsel in distress as well. My words, not theirs. A basic hero's tale, if you prefer. A decent amount of options. Let's max out these lives, and continues. If this is anything like the original Kenseiden, things are going to be tough. I dig the sound test. Most of these tunes will be familiar, as they're reworked themes from the first game. Some are from other franchises. If there's one thing I can wholeheartedly commend, it's the music. Edmo Caldas did an excellent job here. Things kick off with a kid-naped lady, followed by our first bombardment of baddies. Kid-naped moves! Look at these moves! Shinobi kids are to be rescued for upgrades and power-ups. One button attacks, another jumps, while the other shoots projectile arrows. Holding up in conjunction with the latter fires out a powerful wave, damaging all enemies on a horizontal plane. There are a lot of Revenge of Shinobi assets going on here. Backgrounds, baddies, bosses. I've got to hand it to Link UI. Link UI? I hadn't noticed how similar this first stage in that Mega Drive Genesis classic was to Kenseiden's intro level. A watered-down horse sequence from Shinobi 3 makes an underwhelming appearance. No enemies, just jump the obstacles. There's really nothing new here. A lot of the assets feel carelessly dumped into these stages with very little rhyme or reason. The original Kenseiden was similar, but things like obstacles and enemies were deliberately placed, something that made it feel fair and rewarding to learn. Branching paths, dojos to enhance Hayato's abilities, finesse. Look, I don't want to be a prick. Or a bastard? Really? We're going with this kind of language in the text? Yeah, shit. Why is Hayato so angry? Oh, shit! Edgy in an Akiva Goldsman kind of way.
Sheer
fucking hubris.
The backgrounds, as recycled as they may be, are stunning. I love the palette of the 16-bit Sega hardware, and they did an excellent job representing it. Parallax scrolling, beautiful foreground details, background layers to exhibit bosses, it's excellent all around. Sonic the Hedgehog sound effects when gear is gathered, relatively crisp voice samples that put that Thunder Force lady to shame. Again, the music is terrific, wonderfully exhibiting that awesome Mega Drive Genesis audio chip. Decapitated Alex Kids, I wouldn't have it any other way. Screw that creepy simian toddler. The controls are fairly tight, running around slicing and dicing feels responsive, but some of the platforming is a bit wonky. There's a weird screw attack look in double jump that doesn't always work properly for me. It's similar to the awkwardly precise Revenge of Shinobi vertical input, but somehow even worse. Fortunately, there are only a few moments where its unreliability gets in the way of the gameplay. This waterfall section, for instance, is a real shit bastard. I'm sick of you, die! Why so worked up, Hayato? Therapy, have you tried it? Perhaps a little flash dancing will calm those nerves, sand down that edginess. Get loose with those foots, fella. The sword power-up unleashes a super satisfying wave of immense energy. Getting hit pounds it out of Hayato's body, but it can be retrieved. Excellent. Hell, what a bastard bitch motherfucker of a skill to earn. They kidnapped my upgrade, but I got it back. I'm going straight up to the top, so shut up, you bastard.
I'm going straight up to the top. Oh yeah!
Knockback is as crazy as ever, the animations are solid. Stir the magic blueberry, drank cool blue, cool 8, boatman, stir it up until it goes citrus orange. Damn, this looks good, delicious.
Oh yeah, purple stuff, Sunny Delight.
Bosses are hit and miss, literally. I'll give them this, they fixed the clunky hit detection on Clubby Chubby here from the original game. A health bar is always preferred, but that's a nitpick. Sometimes I legitimately don't know how a big bad manages to damage me, but maybe that's my problem. I really wish projectiles and sub-weapons did something, anything in these encounters. Perhaps it was tough to program since these are all from other official titles. At times I'd enter a room and my life bar would reduce to a single hit, which is a mystery. The 8-bit original had trial sequences where Hayato had to make his way to the goal without taking any damage, so maybe this is a callback to that. Your guess is as good as mine. It's a good thing these sacks of uneven testicles are more plentiful this time around to replenish life, cause you'll need it. Sometimes I'd enter or exit a building only to get dumped on by a million enemies. Again, it just feels like they're being tossed at our hero with reckless abandon. No rhyme, no reason. Firewheel was vanished. On my way to revenge. Inch forward, constantly attacking, slap that action step by step. Ooh, baby, I could use a footloose flash dance again. More nice good backgrounds. Careful with those long jumps, you bastard. An enemy is certainly awaiting you for revenge on the other side of each and every chasm. Die, Shadow of the Beast. More basic bitches than a Dark Souls 2 boss battle, am I right? The game is challenging, but I didn't feel like the difficulty increased gradually. Extra lives were easy to obtain, so I was often fully stocked, but yeah, the final stage felt the same as the first and middle ones. All of my deaths were the result of blind jumps, bastard enemy placements, or poor boss collision. When it comes to the latter, there's typically one rote pattern to exploit their AI, making them feel less like thrilling, skillful encounters and more like cheese fests. Almost like I'm exploiting their limited movements, almost like they didn't belong in this particular game. What the hell are you talking about? Die! This place makes me disgusting.
Go to the Elvan on Meatball Mountain.
After a few stages, the repetitive horizontal linearity gets shaken up a bit with a few vertical, explorable regions that feel more aligned with those from the original. I also dig how this reused dragon asset becomes an ally after this spectacular battle in the skies. As a huge fan of the never-ending story, I was reminded of Falcor and all his splendor, but now I must cry like an overly emotional man-baby as thinking of that masterful film reminds me of Artax. Why must we watch him die so slowly? Here's a true story. Years ago, I was having some pints with a few friends when one mentioned that film. All of us manly men discussed that scene and how we couldn't get through it as children without weeping uncontrollably, so naturally we decided to go back to my place and watch the DVD, laughing at how ridiculous it was to cry that hard at a movie. Half a dozen adult dudes in a room, the horse goes in the mud, all of us blubbered, not a dry eye in the house. Damn bastards got me again, kidnapped my self-control. I've been taking the piss out of the text, but it really does suit the poorly translated nature of its roots. I understand that English itself is a bastard shit of a language, not everyone speaks it. I'm having a bit of fun. The dialogue, intentional or not, good jorb. I mean, I don't know if you've read YouTube comments by native speakers, it's embarrassing. Yeah, so Hayato's journey is fine. Flawed, but fine. I'd have approached it more positively had I not been asked for a donation before downloading, but whatever. That's fine. If you want to represent your fan games that way, it's up to you. I don't have to like it. Throwing support at these things is what I do. I put them on this channel so that more people can engage with them. You can still play it without paying. Maybe I'm out of touch, maybe I'm wrong to address it or to be so harsh. Maybe I should just invite a few friends over to watch the Chicago Bears lose again and throw the never-ending story on afterwards so we can all weep like baby children. Next time on this channel, another fan game, so stay tuned.